2 fingers. Into the bag in. Neck broken.
Pigeon racing may be the deadliest sport in the world. That's because often thousands of casualties occur in a single race. Her Majesty the Queen subjects pigeons to this carnage. These are 2 of the racing pigeons bred by the Queen's loft. Both of the royal pigeons, one male and one female, were sold to the same buyer. They were sold by the Royal Loft manager at the Blackpool show, which is known as the Crufts of the pigeon world. This pair has become what fanciers themselves call prisoners, because they'll be locked up for the rest of their lives, used exclusively for breeding.
They'll die here now, you know? They'll never leave here.
This royal couple were imprisoned in January 2020, and by the end of March had raised 4 young pigeons. At just several months old, the youngsters are forced to race across the English Channel, which pigeon racers refer to as a pigeon graveyard.
With that, in young bird racing, every time you send across the walk, there's a 50% loss.
The Queen also breeds birds to enter in the South African $1 million pigeon race. Nearly 5,000 birds from 36 countries were entered in the 2020 race series. While others know it as the Olympics of pigeon racing, fanciers call it a slaughter race because so few birds survive the ordeal.
We're saying it's a slaughter. That's the term we use.
All the Queen's birds who were sent to the 2020 South African race, 2 entire teams of royal pigeons, died.
Imagine me phoning the Queen, telling her she's not feeling all right. Oh, my night was gone.
In February 2020, PETA went undercover in South Africa to expose this bloodbath. Thousands of baby pigeons, sent from dozens of countries, are warehoused together in an industrial-sized loft during the standard initial quarantine period. Viruses and bacteria can ravage the population and have done so.
We had a terrible virus that decimated our loft.
You get this stressed pigeons from all over the world. So every bacteria virus that's around arrive in all one.
Why are they stressed? Because of the transport?
Transport and quarantine.
Yeah. How many birds do you think died in quarantine over there?
A lot.
Is this?
A lot.
Are we talking like 1,000?
1,200. And you can do nothing. You go with a bag in, you take them, you throw them in the dustbin.
They lost several hundred birds last year in quarantine.
All 8 of the Queen's birds died during this quarantine. The Queen has sent, in all, 42 pigeons to the past 6 South African competitions. Only 5 of those birds made it to the end of the final race. It's ironic that the release of these birds is called the Liberation, for most of them did not survive. They perished in their desperate attempt to fly hundreds of miles back to their home loft. The birds must navigate through a gauntlet of obstacles, including extreme weather conditions, wires, predators, and other hazards. The ones who find their way back, sometimes many days later, are exhausted and dehydrated.
Here we are 1,600 meters above sea level.
Okay.
The air is very thin.
Yeah.
So that's very strenuous on the birds.
This pigeon, who returned from a training flight, was unable to walk. It becomes a competition for the last bird standing. In the 2020 finals, the casualty rate was even worse than usual because of a last-minute decision by the organizers to extend the race to 600 kilometers. And on that day, the birds endured extreme heat of over 34 degrees Celsius. Of more than 1,500 finalists, only 3 birds made it back on the day of the release.
He made the wrong decision. It was too hot today. He should have stayed at his original distance. Then you might have gotten a few through.
Even the race survivors can fare badly.
The good pigeons,
Yeah.
but they're not good enough pigeons, you understand what I mean?
Hey, just kill him.
Yeah, but, you just kill them.
If you can't kill a pigeon, you know, they will be a pigeon race, and you will never become a top pigeon race. When I come with them, I'm going to start killing pigeons.
He kills them using the same method as most pigeon racers, like this fancier from Ramsgate.
Just breaks the neck, and as you say, it's broke the artery as well.
How long does a pigeon live for?
15, 17 years?
Yes.
If you don't kill it first.
Yeah, you don't kill it. But we don't do it.
It's time this cruel royal tradition was laid to rest. Please ask Her Majesty to withdraw her patronage from all pigeon racing organizations, and please urge the Queen to convert her Sandringham loft from a pigeon breeding mill into a sanctuary for lost, injured, and unwanted racing pigeons. Go to PETA.org.au to take action. And thank you.